We have big news. We have exciting news for you. Tell them what it is, Serena.
We are super excited to announce that we are starting our first membership this January 2024.
Yay! Membership.
So we're excited to let you know that we will be hosting a monthly membership where when you join, you will be
with us live in a Zoom room once a month for a workshop like we just hosted. It's going to be a workshop like that, one topic each month, a different topic. You might even help us come up with the following month's topic from inside our membership. Super excited to meet you. It was so fun meeting a few of you in our inaugural workshop. So we're really looking forward to that.
And when you are a member, you will also be receiving a monthly newsletter where I'm going to be a little more intimate and I'll be sharing the things that are working and the things that aren't working for me.
Yeah, like taking a tool that you've learned from the podcast and how you're implementing it and how well that worked, or maybe if it didn't work. And then Amma can put in my 2 bits worth. We'll see how that goes. But a membership newsletter and a membership live Zoom room workshop starting in January 2024. Can sign up through our Patreon link in the show notes, yeah?
Yes, everything will be in the show notes, and we can't wait to see you there, listeners.
We can't wait. Yay!
Hey, mamas, and welcome to another episode here at the Nurturing Parent Podcast. This is episode number 82. R.E.S.P.E.C.T. Find out what it means to me. R.E.S.P.E.C.T. Eat your broccoli. Sorry, I had to. And I have no idea why I thought it was broccoli, but here we go. R.E.S.P.E.C.T. To raise children who respect us starts with us respecting them. And I dare you to spell that out without singing it. So in this episode, we are going to give you what is respect, why is it important in all relationships, and most importantly, what does being respectful to your children actually look like? All right, so if I had to sing, you definitely know who's going to sing next.
Hey, Mama, welcome to the Nurturing Parent Podcast. Do you want to end the constant battles for bath time? Do you find yourself emotionally exhausted at the end of the day? Do you wake up with big hopes for a smooth day of fun with your little ones, only to face an early morning meltdown because you peeled their banana the wrong way?
Silly you.
Silly you.
Hey, I'm Serena. I'm a mama of 2 little ones, and as a new mama, I constantly questioned myself. I wanted to make sure I was raising respectful kids while also building a strong bond with them. But I discovered that I had to unlearn my ideas that punishment was the way. With Lisa's encouragement, I've been practicing a respectful and gentle parenting approach, which is strengthening our bond as a family.
And hi, I'm Lisa. Amma means grandmother in Icelandic. I am a mama and an amma. And I have over 40 years of experience in childcare and parent coaching. And I am so excited to share the knowledge I've gained over these years with you.
Together in this podcast, each week we will explore some easy to implement skills you can add to your parenting tool belt to help you create a happy, thriving family. Before we get into this week's episode, I just want to apologize ahead of time. I guess my mic was not connected or it was pointing in the wrong direction. So my audio is a little off, but this is a really juicy episode. So I hope you can enjoy it. Sorry. All right. So today we will be talking about something, and I think we can even call it a tool that is very overlooked. And that is respect.
R.E.S.P.E.C.T. Find out what it means to me. It's such a foundational topic. There are definitely tools within this conversation for sure. For me, I look at respect as a core value. So last week we talked about parenting from our values instead of from a list of rules. I think Jen said that last week. And I know I popped that into our socials. And respect. And here, you and I, Mama Serena, we're talking about mutual respect, right? Not only having children who respect us, but us respecting and being respectful of our children.
Yes, and I like that you said that's a value because values I don't think are ever really spoken about. They're kind of just things that are passed on and inherited through example. And it's important to look at it and have this conversation about what is actually respect and mutual respect because it's very important in parenting.
So, what a really simple way of looking at it is respect is treating people in a way that makes them feel cared for and important. Now, I see out in the world a lot of parents who almost demand respect from their children. They want to be respected. I am your parent. You need to listen to me, right?
Yeah.
You talk about that quite a bit,
Yeah,
Serena.
that's how I was raised.
Mm-hmm. Do what I say because I said so. I'm your parent.
You have to show me respect. I don't have to show you respect because you're smaller than me. You don't know as
Right.
much as I do.
Yes. And you know what? It just aches in my heart when I hear that. Um, so we're going to look deep into this. And one of the things I want to start with is some really common phrases that we know that have been around for hundreds of years, if not longer. One is do unto others as you would have done unto you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that from the Bible? These are really old paradigms, right?
Isn't that the golden rule?
That is the golden rule.
Yeah.
Treat others as you would like to be treated.
Mm-hmm.
It's not do unto your parents as they tell you to do. It's not treat your parents as they want you to treat them. It's do unto others, treat others, all of us. So I wanted to point that out that respect is a two-way street. You cannot teach respect by demanding it. That part you were just saying, do what I say because I said so. I'm bigger, I know better, I'm smarter. All that stuff is demanding respect. And what you will get from children, and I see it around, what you get is it looks like they are being respectful on the outside. They know how to say, yes, sir, no, ma'am. They know how to sit down and shut up when they're told to. And so that looks like what some people think respect looks like. And my question is, what's going on inside that little human?
It might be fear. That's what pops up for me, fear.
Okay, some fear. Do you remember how you felt when you were told those things?
Yeah, I would feel scared because if I didn't do what I was told, I would get punished.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember ever having thoughts of revenge or feeling angry or just sort of seething inside like it's not fair and why is this happening? That kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a lot of internal trying to process my emotions and not feeling like my emotions could be accepted. So I think that now that's a big thing that's coming out in parenting. And I'm so happy because for me, it was a lot of embarrassment because I would either
Mm,
be punished in public or yelled at, and I would feel a lot of embarrassment. And I think that
mm,
really hurt my self esteem.
mm-hmm.
And I think about this all the time where I always felt like somebody that was older than me, it was like we were never on the same level. I always had to look up to them, or they were always above me. If their
Mm,
age number was above me, they were above me. And it was hard for
mm,
even to have a conversation because it was uncomfortable not knowing the dynamic I should have with somebody
right.
above me.
So to me, that speaks to self confidence or self esteem, a lack in those areas, and basically a self respect that wasn't allowed to develop because there wasn't a mutual respect with you and your primary caregiver or givers, right? So it is so important, this mutual respect idea with our children. One, I found this beautiful quote from kidshelpline.aus. Respect is the glue that holds a relationship together. I love that. I love that. Respect is the glue that holds a relationship together. So, how do we do this? I want to say that respect, it builds and strengthens trust. It enables feelings of safety and security, which we talk about a lot in the whole realm of nurturing parenting, that a foundation of safety and security, and it fosters well-being. So really, we're going to say respect is, a mutual respect, parent to child, child to parent, is a core value of nurturing parenting, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so true, even about, we say this all the time, your relationship with your partner. It's your relationship with
Yes.
anybody. You're just showing
Yes.
mutual respect and showing your kids what mutual respect looks like between you and
Looks,
your
yes.
partner.
Very good point. Because remember, our children are always watching.
Yeah.
They are always listening. You try to have a private conversation over there on the other side of the room or even behind a closed door, and you can hear very quickly that your children were tuned right in. Their
Oh
antenna
yeah.
was pointed at you,
Oh
right?
yeah, they hear
So
everything.
they are watching and they are listening and they are learning and they are developing who they are going to be in the world. So, absolutely respecting your partner, respecting the relationships that you have with your parents, even though we all have, by the time we're young adults, we all have, some issues that we might need to heal or come to terms with or whatever, but having us respect for that relationship and a respect for your in-laws, mutually respectful, right?
Yes.
And that self-respect where if you are finding you are in toxic relationships that feel really like they're crushing you, then the respect comes in creating boundaries and not, so that's another way we can model for our children what respect looks like. All right, so let's look at a few ways that we can show our children our respect to them, which will give them the opportunity to learn what respect is because they will be experiencing it. First of all, I want you to avoid baby talking to your children.
Yes. Yes. Please stop the baby talking.
Stop the baby talk. Children, as we have said on a few recent episodes, our babies, our infants, even when they're crawling around, certainly when they're toddling, way before they have language to speak, they understand so much of what you
Yes.
say.
Yes.
We need to speak to them like they are just smaller humans, which is what they are. Hey, can you go grab your boots? Because I'll help you put them on if you can bring them over here where I'm sitting.
Yes. And we had spoken about this last week when we were
Yeah.
talking about this episode. So I put it to the test with my 1 year old. She's one in
Yes.
1 month. So I gave her a shirt because my other daughter wanted to change. And I said, bring it to daddy so Sissy can change. And she brought the shirt over and then she came back and got the pants. And I said, bring that. And she did it.
Exactly. And how many words is she saying at this point?
She really just says, Mom.
Okay. So she's very beginning of her being able to speak the words, but look at that huge amount that she understands.
Yes.
And I love, it's not like, take it to daddy, take it to daddy, come on, if you're playing with your child, fine, use a little playful talk. But in our day-to-day communication with our children, stop the baby talk and just speak to them like they are young humans.
They actually love it. They love when you speak to them like they're an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's empowering to them when you can speak to them like you would speak to your partner.
And you can say, can you go get that red shirt for mama? You can be more specific. And one thing that I want to do soon is an episode about some parenting hacks for tidy up time. And one of the things is, let's put all the red toys away first. Let's see how many red toys we can put away by the time we count to 5. And your 1-year-old might or might not know what a red toy is, but as soon as you or their older sibling starts grabbing the red toys, that 1-year-old is going to learn what red is. Right. Yeah. And when you start counting with them to 5, they're going to learn to count. They're going to learn what numbers sound like. Mm-hmm. So just don't patronize and speak down to our children. That is a huge piece of respect. It's a foundation right there. Okay. Number 2, be kind with your words and gentle with your touch. When you're frustrated and you are needing to regulate yourself because they're dysregulated, these are not going to be as easy to do. And at the very end, I'm going to give you an example of how we can make amends for the times that we blow it, which we will. It just happens, right? But for the most part, focusing on being kind with our words and gentle with our touch. Gentle with our touch is primary, needs to always happen. Even if you need to restrain a child who's lashing out at you or another child, or going to pick up a block to throw it because they're just totally in a meltdown or a tantrum, if you need to restrain that child, remember, like, calm yourself, and you need to hold them, and you need to say, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, that kind of thing. You're not going to get rough with them. That's a really basic respect. And again, like you often point out, Serena, how would it be if it was a relationship with another adult, with your partner, with your friend, with a coworker?
What was the line again?
Kind with your words and gentle with your touch.
Kind with your words, I think, is as equally important, because I think in the heat of the moment, sometimes we're just wired to just say something to attack their personality, and it's to your kids and your partners, and that's a reaction. And it's better to just not say anything. Some words just really stick to kids, and it can be the smallest thing, but it really sticks to them, and that will go on in their head, and we don't even realize it, but our words really can hurt our kids sometimes, especially when we're attacking their personality or their character.
Yes. And we can all feel that when we get down on ourselves. What are the words that are going on in our heads? Where did we first hear them? You can bet that we heard them from an inappropriate thing or things that were said to us when we were little, right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to make that happen. You've never been able to, whatever the words are in your head, where did you learn them, right? So I love that. And I want to point out that I statements are very important, and avoiding the word you. Mm-hmm. You need to smarten up right now. You is a blaming statement. If you start that sentence with you, I am so frustrated right now, and I'm having a hard time keeping my cool. And even if you can just speak what's happening to you, it will help you to not do the blaming, shaming thing. So that's a focus there. Number 3, do as much of this as you can. And that is allowing ample time to go at a child's pace. And we've talked about that before. But children, so much in this busy, busy, busy world that we have created, then that we seem to be stuck in this hamster wheel of running, 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 running. We drag our little ones around with us, and it's overwhelming for them. No wonder they're melting down. So, as often as you possibly can, allow extra time to get ready. We've talked about this before, but it never hurts to hear these things again.
Yeah.
Give them the pre-paving for transition. Give them the time to, 3 more pushes on a swing, or do you want to have 1 more push on the swing and 2 times down the slide? Give them time that makes sense for them. Yeah. Not just 5 minutes before we leave the playground, but time that makes sense for them. They don't know what 5 minutes is. Mm-hmm. And honestly, are we really keeping to a watch when we're saying that?
No, sometimes it's 5 minutes over and over again.
Over and over again. So then they never know. And then that's why you have the meltdowns when you're leaving the playground, because they never know which 5 minutes is going to be the real one, right? So give specific timing and allow that extra time. And I know you are all busy. I know there's just so much going on in the world. Give yourselves the grace to do less in the day so that you've got the time and the ability to let the child go at the child's pace, right? That's respectful. Pre-paving, as we've talked about so many times recently, creates that space for respect. Here's what's going to happen next. Okay, I got that.
They're allowed to prepare themselves mentally, because usually we need to prepare ourselves mentally for what's coming in our day, right? That's why we have a million agendas and sticky notes everywhere and calendars.
Right. And lists, the old to-do lists. And I also want to point out here, watch your language in that when you say, in 5 minutes, we're going to leave the park, okay? Or 1 more swing and 2 more slides, and we're going to leave the park, okay? That's me. Every time you put okay at the end of a sentence, after dinner, it's going to be straight into the bath, okay? Okay at the end of a sentence makes it a question. Your child in a respectful relationship has the right to say yes or no.
That's so funny.
If they don't get a choice, if after dinner it's going to be straight into the bath, get rid of the okay word at the end. Do not make it a sentence unless you're willing to take either answer. Okay.
I just said it. Funny. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that, because I was having that exact thought before we hopped onto our Zoom, because that was very self-reflecting, because I'm the one that always says, okay,
mamas often do.
Okay. And I hate
it
once it slips
it a bit.
It does. And my husband does this. And that was very self-reflecting for me, because I was just thinking about it only in regards to my husband, because sometimes when it's his turn to do bath time, he'll say, want to take a shower or want to take a bath? And I'm like, do not ask her. It's not an option. It's prepare the bath so that you can say, oh, the bathtub is all ready for you. Let's hop in. It's not a question. And
yes.
Thank you for bringing that up. That is so true.
Yes. So that's just, exactly. And a great example. Do you want to take a bath? Do you want to go to the playground? If you are going to the playground, you're going to, let's get our boots on and get out the door. Yeah, perfect. Okay, good. And respecting a child's choice. So if you give choices, let's look at getting out the door in the morning, and you think that your child should be wearing a coat, or maybe it's springtime now, a sweater at least. And maybe you know that it's chilly outside, and maybe your child doesn't know that. Instead of saying, you have to wear this sweater, but I don't want to, I'm really hot. No, you have to wear this sweater because it's cold outside, but I'm hot. First of all, we need to respect that our child's experience in their body is their experience in their body. Basic bodily autonomy respect 101, right? You could say, okay, so for you, you're feeling warm right now. I'm chilly, and I also know that the wind is blowing, so I think it's going to be cold outside. And your child says, but I'm hot. We also need to remember that our children's bodies might be hotter than our bodies. They have high metabolisms. A lot of children run really warm, okay? Even at stopped position, not just when they're running. Don't forget, they're going to run when you go out on that walk. They're going to want to race around. So for you, it's warm. For me, it's chilly. I'm just going to pop your sweater. If you grab me your sweater, I'm going to pop it into my backpack and we'll bring it with us. Okay, so respecting your child's choices for what they need for themselves. And I mean, we could talk about that being at the dinner table, all those things too, but we need to keep going. I have a couple more. Practicing active listening. So that's acknowledging the child's feelings. We do talk about this a lot on the podcast. Okay. And that was just an example of it there. So you feel warm. I understand. You're frustrated that mama keeps saying, put on your sweater. I'm sorry. I'll back off on that. And I'll just grab your sweater and pop it in my bag. Right. So practicing active listening. And then I mentioned this earlier, but respect is also maintaining boundaries with gentle firmness. So when there's a boundary, we're going to leave the playground after one more push on the swing and two more times down the slide. And that happens, you need to move in and gently say, all right, do you want to hold my hand or shall I pick you up while we leave the playground? Or do you want to race me to the gate over there where we're going? And so respectful maintaining of boundaries once you put it in place. So I want to just say that being respected, a child being respected, and these were all some ways that we can show our child respect, teaches a child how to be respectful towards others. And it nurtures self-respect. And just as a last note, I want to just give you this example. Our children connect deeply with us when we allow ourselves to be, quote unquote, human. That means when we cough up to our mistakes or things we did that we wish we had done differently, okay? Apologizing.
Acknowledging, admitting it.
Yes. So I've got a little example. I apologize for yelling. I get frustrated when bedtime takes so long. And when I'm already tired, we're all tired. I'm not always able to keep myself regulated and calm. And I know that's what you need. So I apologize. Can we start over and work together to get into bed now? So that helps in that our children can respect us when we are just real with them, right? Instead of escalating into the blow-ups, however you can get there, rein it in and give them who you really are in that moment. I'm so frustrated and you might just, and I just can't do this anymore. And I'm sorry that I'm losing it, but I'm out of control and you're out of control. And both of us being out of control isn't working. How can we bring it back together? That's respectful, right? Just letting them know we're not doing it the way we want to do it either right now. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I think that is really hard for parents because we have this ideology that we're supposed to be the ones that have it together and you have to do what we say. But all of this, I hope, helps you see how important having mutual respect with our children is, and helps you with some ideas about what that looks like. Very simple, easy to implement ideas.
Thank you so much, Emma. I think that was all so helpful.
Can I end with a quick quote? It's really cute, and I think it might help in that part about apologizing and just owning up to your own stuff. This is from the swaddle.com. If you take a wrong turn, does Google Maps tell you you're bad and go to your room? No. Google Maps calmly helps you find an alternative route. And I think that Google Maps is very respectful. Anyway,
that's a perfect example. Thank you.
I hope it's really helpful for all of you listeners. And we love you. Thanks for being here.
My gems really are, I want to list off how we can show respect to our children. That's what I want us to take away from this episode. So those are: 1, avoid baby talking. 2, be kind with words and gentle with your touch always. And a tool to help with this is use I statements and avoid using you statements and blaming. Number 3, allow ample time to go out at a child's pace. So transitioning can be a little difficult, and allow for time. Let's plan ahead. Let's be proactive instead of reactive. Number 4, respect your child's choices. Number 5, practice active listening. And number 6, maintaining boundaries with gentle firmness. And so I'll have in the show notes a little more details about all these things, but I want to remind you that a child being respected, and this is just the summary of it, a child being respected teaches a child how to be respectful towards others and nurture self-respect. So it's all about mutual respect. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. You can now go put on a little Aretha Franklin. All right, just a quick reminder before you go. If you enjoyed today's episode, we just want to remind you of 3 ways you can show some support. Number 1 is leave us an Apple review. It really helps other families find us, and that's our mission, to just grow and help as many families as we can. So to do that, just go into the Apple Podcast app. If you click onto our podcast and scroll to the bottom, you will find something that says write a review, and you can leave us however many stars, preferably 5, and tell us something that you enjoy about our podcast or a tool that helped you. We'd really love to hear from you, and we would really appreciate the help with the algorithm. Number 2 is you can share this episode with a loved one, and we guarantee you they will truly appreciate it if they know that you are in their thoughts. And number 3 is you can become a Patreon member today for as little as $1 a month. And we just want to thank our current Patreon members. We truly, truly appreciate your support. It is such a motivation, and we're so grateful for you and your generosity. So thank you so much. And we can't wait to be here with you again next week.